What's going on, everybody? LK here, back at it again with another video, and today I kind of want to talk about Season 2 and the potential Season 3. So, I know a few months ago, maybe it was a while ago, but I made a video about why I actually liked that there was no balance changes, like serious balance changes, not like the quiet, let's use new characters to quietly balance the game, but like an actual balance patch. There was none, right? We got the one at the beginning of the year, the system patch, and then we got the character patch in I want to say the last week of March, something like that. And after that, it was just new characters. So, kind of what happened, like what I thought would happen is that the game changed despite the game not changing, because people have time to review the game, dig into the characters, and characters moved around a lot, despite the game not really changing besides them adding new characters to the game. So examples of this would be how people think Gohan is top tier now, Teen Gohan is a top 5 character now, Bardock not being considered the absolute top 3 or best character in the game. I remember saying on this channel that I thought Bardock was the best character in the game. Now my opinion is not that. Now I think Kid Buu is the best character in the game. Characters rose to prevalence that had not really been played before. So the two biggest ones, funny enough, would be base Goku and base Vegeta. Sonic playing base Vegeta, and I run into base Vegetas now in tournament. Base Goku, of course, mainly Wawa, but I've seen other people play him as well, and people just acknowledging these characters as strong characters. Most people, between Season 1 and Season 1, these characters were just considered not good, waste of time characters. And Season 2, they were just kind of overlooked until a really strong player started to play these characters. A third one, of course, would be Mr. Broly, my good friend, the Kill Sage, playing this character and showing how strong he is. I think Broly is a truly S tier, like S- tier character, despite his height holding him back. Oh my god, he gets fuzzy, holy shit! He gets fuzzy, it's so bad, but he's still really, really good. And on the other hand, there are characters that I think have fallen off over time, and probably the number one example of this would be Yamcha. So, it sounds kind of weird, and when I say characters are more popular or less popular, I'm usually talking about tournament play. I didn't mention, funny enough, talking about adult Gohan, I think before I left for Japan, I was like, Gohan is amazing, he's top tier, but no one complains about him, but they're definitely complaining about him over there. A lot of people play him, and actually an interesting thing about Gohan, and this is kind of a result of the Universal Fuzzies, is that they're characters that probably would not be played at all, that get played more because of Gohan, adult Gohan. So for example, this combination exists, Gogeta and Gohan together. Of course, things that already exist, like Shanks 18 adult Gohan combination gets better because of they have the synergy to do Universal Fuzzy off Super, stuff like that, right? That thing is pretty interesting. Characters that have fallen off, in my opinion, are definitely, these two are probably the prime ones. I also think Android 21 has kind of fallen off, despite still being really good. All three of these characters are really good, but between, Yamcha's thing is mostly how just people want to control. People still do use Yamcha, but I just feel like he's been pretty much packaged to work with Gohan, and that's it. Kid Buu or adult Gohan, and that's it. Besides that, you usually see people pick Beams over him. Bardock, it's like what I said last week, that some people were in the comments, which I found pretty funny. They're like, what do you mean Bardock's still falling off? I still see him online a lot. So of course we're talking about tournaments and how people feel about him at tournament play, that he's still really good, still top 5 character, but it's kind of hard to build with him if you still want to play him as opposed to other options that are available. And of course, like I said, 21, really popular at the beginning of the year and the beginning of this patch, but she's pretty much there's a couple of Japanese 21s out there, Matoe, who's qualified, there's also Fighting Tuesday's Uminchu, there's a couple other people in the States who play her, but overall she's just not that common despite being really good. She's kind of fallen off. So we've seen the game change a lot despite there not being any balance patches, because the players change the game. People come up with new strategies, people refine things, new combos. The new characters kind of helped. Especially, so if any character really did change this game this year, it's definitely this guy, GT. Many people think for the worse. I know people aren't going to like it, but I think for the better. I do actually like that he's in the game. And one of the things I want to see the most in Season 3, thinking about this year and how this year has played out, is that I want more characters to... They don't have to be like him, but I want more characters that fight the core base problems of the game, which are jumping is really strong, and he's good against that, and the level of punishment he inflicts on people. So of course, in my opinion, I think Spirit Bomb combo extensions are too much, but just the threat, like people are threatened by getting hit by Spirit Bomb. They're threatened by getting hit by this. That's the thing I like about him the most. Like other characters in the game, and like offense is pretty developed at this point now in the year. A lot of people, you know, like I said, playing Kid Buu, Adult Gohan, Teen Gohan, things like that. Like if they touch you, you're scared, right? If they have like Kid Buu assist, they catch you blocking, they call him, they do their mix up, you're scared, right? But the thing about a lot of characters in this game is that when they hit you, because of the way the game is made, you're not necessarily scared. You're thinking about what you're going to do next. When you get hit by GT, you are legitimately scared. So when you play against him, you have to play against him a certain way. I want more characters that are just outright threatening the way GT is. And I think they actually did have this in Season 1, but they nerfed a lot of it. Bardock, of course, was ridiculous Season 1, but there are other characters like Gotenks. Yamcha still kind of has this threat, to be honest, even though he's kind of fallen off. Old 16... at this point, there's like characters, the most threatening characters, like, wow, I really don't want to get hit by them or caught by them, would be characters like Kid Buu, obviously, but then like really good snap characters like 18, or like Adult Gohan, or anyone playing GT, or like the super high damage characters who just melt you. So this would include now like Super Broly, like Hit, like characters like that, characters that just do a lot of damage and can keep their turn in a pretty good way. Now, I know what people want for Season 3. I know people want more defensive options, but I can't really, in the context of this year, of course, I can't really think of what else they could add besides something about Snap, per se. Because the theme of this game, and let's just hop into, let's get some cool characters. That's not a cool character. I'm sorry, Krillin fans, it's not a cool character. This is actually a really sleep team that Autopilot picked, but whatever. So in the theme of this game, the theme of defense in this game is really like high risk, high return. So for the people who want like instant block or like push block, I hate to say it, but if they add it, I would be really, really surprised because it just doesn't fit with the theme of defense in this game. Defense is really, 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 really strong. I got roasted in that changes I wanted to see video for wanting them to change reflect and stuff, but it's because I kind of understand that like this thing's risk return is just out of control. Like it just beats everything, but if you're wrong, you die. Right? That's reflect is one of the things that shows what they want defense to be in the game the most. Like many of the defensive mechanics in this game are truly really strong, especially if you use it well. But the flip side, universally for all of them, is if you are incorrect, you die. That's just it. So things like instant block and push block you could die for being wrong, but the thing about push block is that it's a passive option, like something you do in Block Sun. So it seems like they don't want people to have stuff from Block Sun with specific exceptions. So I feel like you can't really expect that. Plus, with the way the game's offense is made, there's no plus frames, there's no jump canceling, so push block would be disproportionately strong. And I feel like I'm gonna get roasted for this too, but this is really how I feel. The people who want push block want to be pressing things in Block Sun. They just want to be pressing buttons in Block Sun, which I don't deny is a good thing. Like interaction, that kind of type of like passive interaction is not a bad thing. It's just that I don't think the game has the tools at the moment for something that strong to be added to the game from Block Sun. They would need way more moves, plus frames, and jump cancels to make push block be functional. For lack of a better word, I don't think it would be functional with the game's offense how much it relies around like staggering and stuff like that and conditioning. I don't think push block would work in the game right now, or there would be very, very few characters who could like fight push block very well. Between like your assists don't come back very quickly if you compare it to Marvel. There's no jump cancels, there's no plus frames. Like, I want to say no, I just mean there's very few, right? I just don't know how that would work. Instant block, kind of same thing. Like, everything is minus already, so it's like you want things to be more minus than it already is. So people say simultaneously defense is bad, but they want something to make the offense worse, even though the offense is based off things being minus and conditioning. I personally don't think it could work. The thing I think can definitely work is if they change snap timing. I would personally be sad because snap makes the game fun for me, but I understand it doesn't make the game fun for other people, and changing your incoming time would probably be a good way. Or some people want air reflect. I of course kind of don't, because that's just another way that jumping will be stronger, making it harder to catch people, and with the tools that we have in the game, it's already hard to catch people in the air. So I hope if there's anything initially, it would be changing the incoming timing. I think it would be an easy defensive change that doesn't affect the current game. Now, if they went crazy and they just started adding things like, let's say, new moves for everybody, things that are plus, a jump cancelable move for like every character, then I'd be like, alright, go nuts on defense, let's just see what happens. But for now, that's kind of just where I am at. Of course, I also want new characters, people want new characters. We could definitely use some more waifus in the game, please, right? We could definitely use some more. 21 and 18 have carried for more than a year. Vidal is barely in the game, so we could definitely use a couple more of those. We got Bulma, right? We got Kefla, I guess. There's a couple more options there. Master Roshi is long overdue. Characters will be fun to talk about. The character, I think the way they handled characters this year was okay, besides the whole, let's announce Broly and Gogeta first, and then release them at the end of the year. That kind of sucked. But besides that, I think they did a pretty good job. I don't really know much about the single-player content per se. I've heard like mixed things about it, so hopefully we get more of those in Season 3. But outside of that, basically I'm hoping for some system changes, for sure. More, maybe, for sure, more character changes across the board. For sure, character changes across the board. I'm very much looking forward to the new S-tier character that everyone complains about for maybe not the best reasons. And hopefully, I don't know what they want to do as far as patching. So the last thing I think about Season 3 is that it would be kind of nice if they did a mid-year patch, because I think that would be a nice balance between people who are like in my camp, who I'm like, I'm totally fine for the game being the same for a year, because that gives us much deeper understanding of how the game works on both sides, both the dev side and the player side. We both get to understand the game more. But I also understand that people, you know, they have their complaints. They think the game might get stale. And in some cases, like this year, we got kind of lucky and the game changed a lot this year overall. But there is the case where the game is just like Bardock GT the whole year and like that's it, right? And there's no way to know until they make those changes. So like a half-year patch, like a 6-month patch would be like a nice little compromise. I think they did a good job of that in Season 1, where they kind of let the game rock for like 3 months or so. For me, it's too fast, especially because the game was new last year. But since we understand the game better now, I think like every 6 months or so would be a nice compromise between casuals who just want changes and like people who want to get like deep understanding and research the game. Cool. So let me know what you think. I guess they're not going to announce it until the finals next year if they are doing it the same as this year. Like, if you feel like it, please actually subscribe. I'm going to say every video, but please actually subscribe. And I'll see you next time.